Hey, what's up, good people? It's Jay Ray, the co host of Q Points, and I wanted to come to you because there are two really important ways that you can support our show. One is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. The other thing that you can do is you can visit us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on Podchaser, and you can leave us a star rating. Please rate us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points. And on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, you can actually leave us a written review. It's not required, but it really does help to spread the word about the show, and it helps people to discover it as they're looking for new podcasts to listen to. We're always appreciative of you supporting Q Points. We thank you so much for all that you've done for us so far, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to another episode of Q Points podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. What's up, y'all?
Listen, Jay Ray, we are here at another point of the year. We're embarking on the Memorial Day holiday weekend,
Yes.
so that means it's the official tissue start of the summer.
Yes.
And the weather quite hasn't gotten the memo yet, but you know what? I'm okay with cool mornings and a little rain here and there, because I guarantee you at some point everybody will be complaining about how it's hot as hot Cheetos outside.
Yeah, I am perfectly I agree with you. I'm okay with the brisk little breeze that we've been getting. It has not been sweltering. I will say this. I have definitely shifted back to fan when I sleep. So I'm in fan when I sleep mode.
Absolutely.
Which has been cool, but yeah, the weather here has been it hasn't gotten hot yet. And I'm okay with that, because to your point, it will get there. And then it's going to be like 100 degrees and we're going to be over it. So it's fine. I'll take this.
Listen, J Ray and Sir Daniel podcast for people who turn down their AC to about 60 degrees and then get under at least 2 blankets
Of course.
to sleep comfortably through the night. So we podcast for you. Don't ever forget that. We have you in mind. We got your back.
Yes.
J Ray, first, another thing, how have you been?
I've been good. It's been it has been a good and busy week. Q Points has been busy. We've been getting responses on YouTube videos. Our numbers, we are trending to have our best month ever this month, which is super exciting. And so I've been good. How about yourself? How have you been?
I am pleased with the dedication that I've been maintaining about getting more physical activity. And so I'm very pleased with myself for that and maintaining that promise to myself. Because we're not getting no younger. The dial is getting closer and closer to whatever number we're all getting towards. And I'm going on a trip soon, so there's a little vanity involved as well. But I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy about the again, you and I spoke about the past weekend and how wonderful that was, and I have a lot of expectation in my heart for what's to come, for not just for me, but for this show, for you, for all our friends. I just have a very expectant heart right now, and a heart full of gratitude. So I'm very thankful. And so that we can keep sharing all of that gratitude and
Yeah.
love with the people, J Ray, please tell them how they can keep in contact with us and keep up with
Yeah.
us.
So shout out to everybody who is joining us. We see y'all coming in the room. So here's what
Mhm.
y'all can do. So all of y'all who are listening to our voices and watching us right now, go ahead and hit the share button. Share the show. Let the folks know who are also online. You can shoot them a text. You can send it to them from wherever you're joining, Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Let them know that you are watching Q Points and that we're having these uh, really heartfelt conversations about Black music and our Black music creatives and those people that have really impacted us, right? So tonight,
Mhm.
Sir Daniel and I are going to love on Tina Turner. If you are here because you love Tina Turner too, and share it with your friends because they probably want to come and love on Tina Turner too. So share the show. That's number one. Number two, you should subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. So what we do is this show will be reposted as a part of the Q Points podcast, which we're an Ambie Award nominated podcast. So you need to be sure that you're also subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts. I guarantee we're there. We're everywhere. um
That's right.
Absolutely. And so if you want to go a step further and you're like, "Ooh, okay, I really want to make sure and help these guys get to the next level because it does take that support in order for us to get there," you can become a member. So if you visit qpoints.com, click the subscribe button, you can become a Q Points insider and get access to all types of other things. The list is there about for what you get. And you can also shop our store at store.qpoints.com, and that will give you some fly gear and stuff like that in our stores. So those are all the ways that you can support us.
Absolutely. And as J Ray said, we are um reminiscing on the greatness that is Tina
Yeah.
Turner. And of course, we had something else planned. We had a
Yep.
different show planned. We were going to be paying homage and speaking on the new
Mm-hmm.
Donna Summer documentary on HBO or Max, whatever they're calling themselves now.
Okay,
And
that's such a weird change. I have no idea who said that that was a good idea.
I mean, I even had to download a whole new app and everything. I'm just, you know what? But that's first world problems. So
Right.
I'm not even going to dwell on that too long. But yes, so we were, and we're still going
We're
to
gonna do that show. Yeah.
speak on that. Have that show speak on Donna Summer because she, like Tina Turner, was a pioneer, trailblazer, and did it her way,
Mm-hmm.
created her own story of her life. And so we're definitely down to talk about that. But J Ray, before we even go into that, I do also want to mention and say goodnight to Bill Lee,
Yes, Mr. Bill Lee.
jazz
Mm-hmm.
musician and father of famed film director
Mm-hmm.
Spike Lee, passed
Yeah.
away as well.
Yeah.
Bill Lee, in his own right, was a famed jazz musician. Like
Yes.
one of the greats.
Mm-hmm.
And he passed away this week as well, and we want to offer our condolences
Yes.
as well as to speak his name and thank him for his contributions to not only music but for giving us his son who contributed to film and Black
Absolutely.
culture as it is, period. So
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you for that reminder because it was so mm, it was so crazy yesterday because there was
Hmm.
all of the reflection around Miss Turner's passing, and then it was like super late that I saw that Mr. Lee had also passed away. And so
Yeah,
thank you, Sir Daniel, for keeping us on track and being mindful and making sure that we brought his name into the room as well. So yes, definitely from Q Points to the Lee family, sending love and support from us.
absolutely. And so like J Ray said, yesterday was, I put it like this. I work from home. And when of course, J Ray was the first one to notify me of the passing of Tina Turner, it was like, day is done. Whatever I was typing up for work, I just couldn't continue. There was
Yeah,
just nothing else mattered at that moment. I just
yeah,
closed my laptop, and from then on, it was just all about um going to social media, which is what we do now
It
as a
is.
community. That's how we publicly grieve now, and we grieve as a community on social media, specifically for me, Black Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I completely checked out from work
Yeah.
and checked into the community,
Mm-hmm.
and and talking to like-minded people who share the love, who share a love for Black music and Black content, and just looking to see the people that were sending in their condolences, sending in messages. I think shout out to Lizzo.
Yeah.
You know, Lizzo took the opportunity during her show in I believe Arizona yesterday to do a quick and a very well done tribute to Tina Turner. You know, and Lizzo was very vocal, as we are, and saying that there would be no rock and roll without Tina Turner.
No, absolutely not. And I agree with you. Yesterday, when I heard this, so I was in the middle of a meeting
Mm,
and I got a notification that jumped onto my desktop and it said, Tina Turner, Queen of Rock and Roll, passed away. I think it was the Rolling Stone
right.
notification. And I was in a meeting transitioning to share another part of my screen. And I stopped and I said to the person I was in the meeting with, like, okay, give me a second. Tina
Yeah.
Turner, I just saw the notification that Tina Turner passed away. Give me a second. And then they
Yeah.
needed a second too. So it felt like time stopped
Mm-hmm.
for as I was like, okay. I texted you and I was
Yep.
like, okay. And then we went back to work on finishing the thing, and I finished out my work day. And I'm going to tell you, Sir Daniel, what rushed over me after I finished everything was gratitude that we got to like live in a time that Tina Turner was here and we got to watch her control her transition out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember a time when I've seen a celebrity say to the world, okay, this is my goodbye. We got, the documentary, we got the Broadway show, which I saw, which was brilliant.
Mm.
This is my goodbye. Thank you. I'm going to go to
Mm-hmm.
the south of France and I'm
Yeah.
going to finish the rest of my life. So I felt incredibly grateful and filled with gratitude that we lived in a time where we got to see this Black woman do this thing that no one had ever seen before. So that's where I kind of ended the day. And that's where I'm showing up today is like, let's love on this woman who did this.
I mean, it's funny when we launched our social media hits for
Mhm.
to announce the upcoming show. You know, people were in my mentions like, "Wow, Q points." You know, y'all did that, and I was like, I mean, this is what we do.
Mhm.
Y'all aren't going to get anything less than this.
Mhm.
You are we are, as you said, we are firmly planted in our lives as Gen Xers.
Mhm.
Um, yes, we saw Tina Turner in real time. And the thing is, it just dawned on me while you were saying that she absolutely could have, like many of the artists that we pay homage to that we didn't see in real time, she could have faded off into obscurity and
Mhm.
stopped.
Yes, easily.
And then our generation would not have gotten to witness the best that she had to offer at the
Yep.
time. So, like you, I am very grateful for that. Um, and shout out to Carlton who is
Mhm.
checking in, or one of our number one listeners. I too clocked out because it felt like deja vu because I automatically went back to the day that Prince passed away.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
was at work and I left. I
Yeah.
left. Yeah, I left my office. Listener, and luckily it was one of those jobs where I didn't have to stay in the office. I was a remote, mobile in the field type of worker.
Mhm.
And I legit packed up my stuff and left for the day. There was
Yeah.
just no way I was going to be any good after that. And the same thing with Michael Jackson.
Yep.
You know, at that point there was nothing
Nothing
else that could
else.
be done. At that I remember that job. I was working for the state, so I couldn't leave.
Right.
But I locked my door. I locked
Mhm.
my door and was just like glued to social media, trying to see what if this was really true and was this really happening. And but absolutely, back to my other point of us getting to see her in her second,
Yeah.
not only her second, but her best act.
Absolutely.
Her best act. We got to see her become an icon.
Yeah.
And J Ray, when I think of an icon, if you become iconic when if your personal expression, if your the way you present becomes a costume.
And
And
baby,
and
forever costume.
Tina Turner, like the other two icons that I just spoke of, can be represented in cosplay, if you will,
Yeah.
because they're iconic.
Yeah.
Their drag, their personas can be replicated, and we'll know exactly who you're referencing
Yep.
because they made that much of an impact on the culture.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm sorry. There's so many visions in my head of women in like the black leather dress with the with the
Mm-hmm.
with the blonde big wig. But anyway, yes, definitely the costume. Um so Sir Daniel, question. As
Yes.
we so just oh, by the way, for everyone who is tuning in for this show, essentially tonight we're going to cover a few things, right? So we're going to talk about the documentary Tina. We're going to revisit it. We kind of talked about it, but what I realized is we really didn't. We only spent like 4 minutes on it in a show in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So Sir Daniel and I are actually going to really talk about it tonight a little bit. We want to talk about Tina the pop star, and during the music video era and what that meant. And then we're going to really talk about Tina's legacy. But before we jump into that, Sir Daniel, when was the first time that you remember learning of Tina Turner?
Hmm. And J Ray and listener, I'm going to be honest with you that that's going to be hard for me to pinpoint,
Mm-hmm.
only because it feels like she's just been omnipresent in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, it had to. I'm gonna try and triangulate it to around 83, 84,
Mm-hmm.
because of course 84 is really where her career
Yeah.
took off.
Mm-hmm.
I do, at one point in our lives, I did have a stepfather who purchased this particular record
Mm-hmm.
right behind me and brought it to our home, it was quite a which was very impactful, simply because I grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist home.
Yeah.
We didn't have any secular records at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe Tina Turner may have been the first secular record that was ever brought into our house, brought
Wow.
into our home. And of course, I recognized her from television, and like you and everybody else, well, of course, back then in Brooklyn, we didn't have MTV, but we had Hot Tracks,
Mm-hmm.
and we had and Friday night videos. And yes, I would catch glimpses of the What's Love Got to Do with It video, which is iconic, her coming up out of that subway
Yeah.
and in the iconic leather mini dress
Yep.
and the denim jacket and the I call them the Chrissy Snow
Yeah.
pigtails,
Right.
that stuck up in the air. And just just the swagger. Now, there are there are plenty of people. Swagger is a word that just really started coming into its own probably around 2010, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look up the definition of swagger in the dictionary, Tina Turner is definitely standing next to it,
Absolutely.
because the walk alone,
It was the walk.
the very it was a tip, but it
You
was a
know, it
strong
was,
tip.
yes.
You know, because she's navigating the streets of New York in stilettos and
Absolutely.
and fishnets, and that can't be comfortable. And so,
Right. And she was a woman of a certain age too.
dude,
She was
bruh.
over
So
40 doing this.
Tina, I think we might have been older. We're older than Tina Turner probably was in that video. When
Absolutely.
now let that marinate. Let's just take a minute to let that marinate. We are, J Ray and I are, listener, are around the same age when Tina Turner's star
Yep.
really started to rise,
Isn't
and
that
she really
crazy?
was at the height of her superpower, which is another conversation that we are actually going to have later
Yeah.
on about ageism
Yep.
and when you actually start really cooking with grease in this lifetime. So do you,
Absolutely.
so J Ray, lay it on us. When was the first time can you remember Tina Turner's presence?
So I think I've pinpointed it. So I will tell you what I thought it was. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought I started with, I was like, oh, was it? What's love got to do with it? Like the video. And I'm like, well, maybe. But then I was like, did I see, because she was one of those performers, like she was always with like a Rod Stewart or a Mick Jagger. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so did I
Mm-hmm.
see her with them? Because I know that Rod Stewart did like a Saturday Night Live performance and Tina Turner was there, but it was like 81. So I was like, that couldn't have been it, because I would have been too young to remember. I would have been like 4. So I could remember it, but I don't think that was it. I do think, but there was one thing that I can never forget. And so I absolutely believe that this is it. I think I first learned of Tina's existence flipping through, I'm going to assume it was my dad's record collection. And
Okay.
specifically, it was stumbling on the Working Together record, which of course had Proud Mary on it. It was Ike and Tina's biggest record, and it was in someone's collection. But I'm gonna tell you why I remember it. There's the picture of Ike and Tina, and I just remember how serious they looked, right? So it's a profile of them. So if you look at the hand, Ike's like here and Tina's like a there, and they look so
Stoic.
yes, stoic and just kind of serious. So go back and pull the Working Together cover and y'all will see it. But I remembered this gold cover and this woman with these eyes and seeing the name. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing the name, not knowing what was on that record. And I
Yeah,
didn't learn of Proud Mary until well after What's Love Got to Do with It, right? Because I was a
for sure.
child. But so I am pretty confident that my first learning of Tina Turner was the image of her, physically
Mm,
seeing her on an album cover and just being like, who's that woman?
right. And before we move on to discuss the documentary, you just reminded me of something. You and I, listener, you too, we had the privilege of experiencing Tina Turner without the baggage of
Yes.
knowing all about that
Yep.
stuff between that happened before and that gentleman
Yep.
that she's eternally linked to.
Yep.
But you and I, listener, we had the advantage of growing up just knowing Tina.
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
think and I think that's a privilege.
It
That's a
is.
privilege that we got to grow up without that, because we got to experience her as a fully developed artist and realized artist and a woman that she was at that time. So that was just an observation that I wanted to share with y'all, because I'm like, everybody else, we're gonna get to it later on
Right.
in this episode, but there's so many people that just want to hold on to the past, right?
Yeah.
And we're about celebrating. We definitely about celebrating the past in on Q points, but there's a way to celebrate things, and there's a way to explore things, explore, not exploit. So
Exactly.
I just wanted
Exactly.
to bring that up.
Thank you so much for, because that is the truth. We did get to do that. And so I think this is actually a good lead in to the documentary
Mm-hmm.
conversation, because the beauty of this documentary, so the documentary we're talking about is Tina. You can, I think, still watch it on Max.
You
That's
can.
what it's called now. So you
Max,
can
yes.
watch. Why did they pick that name? I want to talk to the people like, why'd you pick this name? I know, right? Does
It's
it Cinemax
distractions.
does Cinemax still exist? It still exists, right?
The Max, Cinemax, I'm sure it
I'm sure it
does.
does. Anyway, we're talking about the documentary Tina, which was released in 2021. And so actually back in olden Q Points days, we're gonna get into the Wayback Machine, and we're going
Mm-hmm.
to watch what me and Sir Daniel said in 2021. Now, I want to be really honest. I don't know what I said. I didn't watch this. It's 4 minutes. We said some stuff. Y'all are going to see what we said. And then we're going to come back and talk a bit about the Tina documentary. So let's see what we said in 2021.
Whew,
Whew.
okay, I'm holding my breath. All right,
Right.
let's see it. And but when I think about being ethereal and otherworldly, you can't talk about having multiple lives and not talk about Tina Turner.
No, you can't. I mean, if y'all haven't seen that documentary, see it. See it, please.
Please, you got to see the HBO documentary on Tina Turner. Like this woman. If we're going to talk about comebacks, right?
Mhm.
In 1984, Tina Turner was our age. Let's just be real cut. In 1984, when she dropped Private Dancer, she was our age in 84. That's 27. No, and that's after being in the industry for 27 years. Like she joined Ike Turner's Review in 1957. And it wasn't until 1984 that she hit a major milestone and a major comeback with Private Dancer. Let me just run it down real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It won in 1985. It won Best Female Rock Performance. 1985, Best Female Pop Performance. Record of the Year, Song of the Year. In the United States alone, the record went 5 times platinum. And in 2020, the album was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the National Recording Registry for Cultural Significance. Like our age,
Right.
where this is a youth-driven culture.
Yep.
At our age, these kids are telling us, y'all need to the left, step to the left.
Yes.
All that stuff you're talking about, that's old. It don't matter. But she was our age when she hit her biggest stride.
Ooh. Ooh, that's inspirational. That is
That's crazy.
inspirational. And when you think about it, in particular in the documentary, she talks about this, the focus. Because once again, she had the experience. She was able to bring all of that experience to the point of, I want to be a rock star now. That's what I want to do. I've been a soul and R&B star. I want to be a rock star now, and I know that I can do it.
Absolutely.
That's experience and age and wisdom and confidence in
Definitely.
who you are.
That's it. Can you imagine being that record executive that got on the phone and wanted to drop her from Capitol Records before that happened. And then you referred to Queen Tina Turner as an old N-word douchebag.
Absolutely. Like, I love that they put that in there and kept that history, because that's the type of
Kept it in
history
there.
that folks want to bury. We need to remember that that's what that white executive said about her.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to be like, we gonna show you better than we can tell you. But that,
Exactly.
you know what this is bringing up, Sir Daniel? It is this idea of needing people around you that love and support you through all of this stuff. I love being on this journey with you because I know that we're sharing the same vision about where we want to go. So when you have
Yep.
people in your corner, but it takes you a while to get there. Like, you have to have a lot of experiences where you screw it up, you kind of messing with the wrong folks, it's not the right folks. But when you get that stuff right, man, the people can get on the phone and say something, and then the people in your corner is like, bump that, we got a record to drop, let's go.
Exactly. They said no, no, no. But here we got racism,
Mm-hmm.
ageism,
Ageism,
and
misogyny.
misogyny. They're quite the thruple.
Yes,
They
they're
are quite the
couple
thruple, and they always seem to pop up together at the same time.
all the
It's.
time.
And can you imagine? So, like, we learned the ugly truth about Tina Turner's journey decades later, after it happened. I like those two.
We
I like them.
we did that.
I like them. I like those guys. What's the name of that show? Q
Man,
Points.
I heard it's called Q Points.
I'm gonna have to subscribe to that. I'm gonna have to subscribe to that show. Nah, but seriously though, so guys, we were off air. We were off air cackling at the fact that we said pretty much the same exact things, almost verbatim, regarding everything.
Yeah.
Like it still holds true. I think we were kind of like, were we in the middle of the panty, or was that coming out of the pandemic? I'm trying to.
No, this was like October. So it was restarting. Remember, we had kind of the
Gotcha.
re-up. So
Yes.
yeah, because so
Yes.
this documentary hit in like October. So we had just had like some new stuff that had shown up,
New strains. Yeah.
new
Yeah.
strains and things like that. So and you're right. It was hilarious saying the age thing that Sir Daniel said before we went to the clip. And it's like, oh shoot. Cause here's the thing, y'all. We didn't watch the actual clip. We just pulled the section and said we're gonna play it. So that was
Mm-hmm.
really funny. But as I watched that, what we said, and then reflecting on watching the documentary last night, I was left with, I remember really enjoying the documentary the first time, but the second
Mm-hmm.
time, I was like, oh, I could use this story to inspire me to just go for what it is that I want. And because that's what Tina did. So there was a thing that I want to bring up. And that is the persistence thing. I know that's kind of next on the list. Watching that documentary and realizing that this woman went to this club and was like, I can sing, but didn't get a chance to sing right away, right? Had to wait multiple times until she got the opportunity to sing. And singing without any formal training. She's not trained in performance. She's not trained in dancing. She's not trained in any of these things, but just embodied it all. And listening to them play like that really early track, and it was like, oh, I could hear the future. Like, I could hear how she got to where she got in this. And so as I was watching this documentary, the thing that kept sitting with me was, go for what it is that you want, but also be persistent in that thing that you want to do, even if It's not something you think you have the training or whatever to do.
So I agree with you. In rewatching today, it a couple things came up for me. So one of the biggest things that comes up for me is that Anime Bullock was born in Nutbush, Tennessee, in the Jim Crow South.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she was born, it wasn't too much. Like people were still getting lynched, and Jim Crow was in effect. She literally grew up, came up in a time, born with next to nothing, came up in a time with nothing, in a world that did not value her as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what struck me the most is at an age where she, for whatever reason, whatever moment she sat still and the universe whispered to her, she said, I'm going to imagine a life for myself bigger than this.
Mm.
And the fact that that happened and that she had the audacity to imagine a world and a life larger and outside of her square, her Nutbush city limits. She was able to imagine a life way bigger and outside of that, has always struck me because it acknowledges the power of the mind, acknowledges the power of forward thinking, and I've said and manifesting. I know that's a word that people throw around a lot these days, but tapping into your own alchemy, your own alchemist, and changing, being and actively changing things, it spoke to me
Yeah.
because I don't know if you guys. So I'm gonna get. So this is a little personal story, guys. I I have no formal training in DJing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did later on. I had no formal training in DJing. I didn't have any peers, anybody to point me in the direction. I didn't even have equipment. I didn't have vinyl. I didn't have any of that stuff. I did, however, since the age of 13, had this vision, this desire. I mean, a super strong desire to do that, to be that. And I forget where I read it, where I heard it, but basically, the thing that I heard was, in order to do something or to be great at something, you just have to be it, no matter where you are in that process.
Mm.
And so that led me to just, I think somebody had mentioned some software, and that led me to just playing with software
Mm-hmm.
and mixing songs together on my laptop. I had a laptop, and which led me on to other steps in order to get to the point where I could actually call myself a DJ, and got to a point to where I actually had turntables and a mixer, which I had envisioned and wanted since I was 13 years old. And granted, it happened late in life, and we're going to talk about that, but it still happened.
Yeah.
And I think it happens when you call for it to happen.
Yeah.
And so her her journey with that, her journey with her spiritual life, and calling out to the universe for these things to start happening, had had made an impact on me watching this documentary. And it did before, but I remember specific. But when I heard this line, she said that she had started chanting, she had
Mm-hmm.
started practicing Buddhism, and she started chanting. And she after she started, there was a show, and I guess it became so apparent that there had been this shift
Yes.
in her being that somebody in the
The
audience
audience.
screamed out,
Tina.
"Tina, you're
Receiving.
receiving."
Yes.
And when I tell you, you could have knocked me over with a feather when she said that, because there are those moments when you are walking in your path, and something, and you have a moment of just what's the word? Just escaped me. You just have a moment of realization,
Yeah.
like, oh snap, this I'm doing the thing. I am the thing that I said I wanted to be, and people will see that. And then it becomes a fire. And so that just really stood out to me. And the other thing that stood out to me about the documentary most really hit me was towards the end when she really dug a little bit into the relationship she had with her mother. And I don't know why. I think that was because it's a little more raw for me right now because of the type of work that I do. I work in a social service field, and I see cases of neglect, and I see people, parents, not knowing what to do with their children and having thoughts around neglecting their children or not being able to show their children love. And Tina being able to express that, granted she was in her 80s when because she came from that generation where we just don't talk ill about our parents.
Nope.
We never talk ill about our parents. And she was able to be honest and say, hey, I don't think she loved me. She didn't want me.
Mm-hmm.
And that could very well be true based on that time period where this woman probably had this child against her will. Because if you're gonna keep it a buck, a lot of women at that time, especially black women, did not have the autonomy that women have today. So there is that possibility, but the aftermath of that is you have a child growing up with a hole in their soul, seeking love. And what happens is you go looking for things, people to fill up that hole. And I think that may have guided her, attracted her to an Ike Turner, because damaged people are like puzzle pieces. And when two damaged people get together, it really is like a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's not saying the picture may not be pretty, but they fit together for whatever reason at that time because of the same type of hurt. And so it was that moment of speaking frankly about how sometimes the people that we call family at sometimes just aren't able to or don't want to love us, and how what kind of ripple effect that can have on your life. That woman went 81, 80 years of her life looking for love, seeking love. That part in the movie, in the documentary, where she says she stood there, she took off all her makeup, took off her wig. She was like, I'm paraphrasing, but like, God damn it, Lord, why? What's wrong? What's the deal? Why can't somebody love this?
Right.
I all of these things have been added onto me, but it's the love part that just escapes me. And imagine going to an arena in Rio de Janeiro that hold, what was the capacity?
It was like for that show it was over 100.
20,000?
Yeah, but it was over 180,000. It was a huge show. It was
Right.
Yeah.
So close to 200,000
Yeah.
people. Imagine being able to step out on the stage and hold the attention of that many people, but being unable to keep the attention of one person in your life. Just wow. Yeah.
Wow. You said, everything that you said, I absolutely co-sign. I do want to go back really quickly to one of the things as well. The spiritual piece of this really did stick out to me, because what I was also left with is folks have to find the spiritual practice that is going to affirm and lift them up and encourage them, and not stay in something that's oppressing you.
I'll say that.
So even amidst all of the stuff that Tina had been going through, right? This woman comes to work at Bollock Sound who practices Buddhism, right? So Tina's in the midst of the most difficult period of her life. A woman comes to work in the place that is a source of some of that trauma, right? And this woman teaches her about this spiritual practice, and it's that practice that leads to her freedom.
Mm.
So there's that, right? Being able to go for the spiritual practice that is going to free you. And two, being able to see outside of the box that Black folks have been put in this country about what spirituality we can do. We
Listen.
either Muslim or we Christian, right? There's a whole bunch of other spiritual practices out there, and it's okay to find the one that works for us. And Tina Turner was able to do the things that she ultimately did because she found something that worked for her.
Right.
That really did speak to me. The other thing that did speak to me as well, and this is just more on some, you know me, I like to just get stuff done.
Uh-huh.
So as the at the time that she's transitioning and kind of figuring out the sound, I don't know why I didn't hear this before, but her manager Roger Davies was like, "Well, child, we had to put together a stage show. One, she had found a manager that believed in her and was like, she
Right.
said to the manager, I don't know what I need, but I need a manager and I want to be a rock star and I want to fill up arenas." And the manager is like, "Okay, well, sure. We're going to figure out how to fill up arenas because I believe in Tina." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I believe in you. We're going to figure that out. But he also said, like, but I realized we needed to put together a show to show that, but we ain't had no money.
Hmm.
So everybody, but all of them folks, all of them musicians showed up on that stage. Tina showed up, everybody showing up on this stage, and I watched that performance, right? To be able to pull together this show because they needed to showcase Tina Turner as a rock and roll star. You need people around you that believe in you and just believe in you. You know, that's why we're so grateful for all of y'all listening to Q Points and watching Q Points. Like, y'all believe in us. Y'all could be anywhere. I'm seeing all the people.
Listen.
My line brother up in here, Jason. My line brother Jason up in here. I see Kipper. I see Carlton. We see Kimberly. We see Michael. We see all of this stuff, right? All of
Hmm.
these folks that are with us. Y'all believe, and we thank you. Like, we're so grateful because we just over here loving on Black creatives and Black musicians because we believe in it so much.
Absolutely. And to your point, everything that you said, I say that let's take us for instance. Looking back at that clip in the early days, I was like, "Ooh, that lighting, the angle, what was I thinking?" But we pivoted,
We
right?
pivoted.
We pivoted. We did things, little things that can improve the way our background look.
Yeah.
You know, everything. If you look at from then until now, we've shifted.
Yeah.
We've made the shift. We made the pivot, and that's exactly what Tina did. She said, "Okay, everything's got to change. Everything's got to shift. We have to change the way we look.
Yeah.
We have to upgrade the way we look. If we want to be a rock star, that has to be reflected.
Yep.
That meant getting rid of the long hair, the mermaid hair.
Yeah.
You know, getting rid of the gowns and whatnot." She was like, "Oh, we're gonna funk this up. We're going to
Yeah.
get some leather involved, get some fringe." And all of those things are germane to being an artist and being serious about your craft. I know this is a however comma conversation,
Mm-hmm.
but earlier this week I sent the link to you, but Tiana Taylor has her hands on
Yeah.
Summer Walker now.
I'm so happy
And
about that.
everybody is ecstatic that Tiana Taylor is moving in this energy of art, A&R, of artist and repertoire and
Mm-hmm.
artist development, and getting their hands on Summer Walker, and Summer Walker is receptive
Yeah.
to the instruction, because everybody has always complained about Summer Walker's lack of stage presence, so on and so
You're
forth.
like, love your
But
music, girl, but my God.
my God, but Summer Walker is serious about her craft, serious about wanting to preserve the relationship that she's built with her audience. So she wants to give people more. And so those are lessons that this documentary taught. You
Yeah.
know, this documentary teaches Tina was like, the people need to see me in a different light, and I need to give them something new and something fresh.
Yeah.
So, and those are things that artists need to do in order
Yeah.
to stay fresh. And then we've talked about this before, but keeping your body in shape or being conditioned to perform 4 shows a night.
Four, okay,
Four.
4 shows. So at that height of, there was one of the dancers, one of the Ikettes was like, "Ciao, we would have to do show like 2 shows and then do some like night shows, and then of course they need to rehearse and all of this stuff." I'm thinking like, wow, but here's the this is the training though, right? So because Tina had to do that, she was able to, at 51 in like
Mhm.
1990, get on stage in Barcelona and bounce around this stadium stage. But she had the training, and her mic was on 100% of the time.
At all times.
Baby, these artists, take notes, kids. Tina Turner's corded mic. I
Mm.
said it on. She was up there dancing with her corded mic. I do have a side question. I do wonder if there was a cord handler. I'm assuming there was, because that cord would
Hmm.
stay real taut. So I'm guessing that there was probably a person that's like, there's a cord handler, right? So that ability to command
Yes.
all of those folks comes with training and her innate ability, because we've already discussed she didn't have like formal training. So, and yes, so Kipper is speaking here in the chat. Yes, Kipper has absolutely done 3 shows a night. I remember those nights, Kipper. It was it's a long night of
And
performing,
for the
3 hours.
for the listeners that aren't familiar, Kipper Jones is a celebrated
Mhm.
R&B legend
Legend.
that we have the fortune of knowing personally and seeing him perform and put in the hard work that it takes. And so, real quick though, J Ray, I've always heard that corded mics, as far as sound, are better than cordless mics.
That's
Is
that.
and
Well,
you're the sound guy,
no, no,
so you.
no. Yeah, there is definitely a benefit to a corded mic. It's more reliable because it's a
Mm,
cord, so it's more reliable, less interference, all of those things. So yes, you are absolutely right. I do want to address one thing that I saw in the chat. So, Michael, welcome to Q Points. We see you in the chat. We don't actually play music because we do not want to get copyright strikes. So we just have conversation. But certainly visit our Spotify, and on YouTube, you can check out our playlist where we put music, but we don't actually play music on the show. We just talk about our folks. So,
mhm.
real quick. So we've kind of talked about Tina's transition into pop star. But I think that transition into pop star coincided with the advent of music video. And we have to talk
Mhm.
about Tina as a visual like foundation for black folks in music video, because Tina is one of the early black artists to emerge from that medium. So I know for me, um I saw Let's Stay Together on MTV. So that was the first single that came out from Private Dancer. It came out in the UK. So they did a video because all of the British acts was doing videos. So Tina, and I remember seeing her with her and these 2 women. dancing and kicking, doing this Al Green tune and being like, who still, where did this woman come from? Because she's such a presence on screen.
Right. You're absolutely right. So again, like I said earlier, listeners, us as Gen Xers, we had the privilege of seeing Tina Turner at her height of her superpowers, and that included being a part of the MTV generation, like you said. Again, not a lot of black acts featured on MTV. There was a handful. Michael Jackson,
Tina
Tina,
Turner, eventually Whitney
finally,
Houston.
eventually Prince, and
Yep.
they've been very vocal about it. It was a task getting black people's videos played on MTV, but luckily, if you like I said, we had Hot Tracks, we had other video outlets where we could see these video performances, and I think our generation is privileged to have had music videos, is privileged to have been able to have been marketed um, to see these musicians perform, because at that point, at that age, where were we going to be able to see Tina Turner perform? We weren't going to
Right.
be able to do that.
Right.
But then, so I think, so you're right. That was a very important time. The What's Love Got to Do with It video, we already stated, is iconic. The look was iconic. The walk, everything
The
was
tip, hold on, was
everything.
you say called it was a tip?
It was a tip. It was a tip. The tip, the sway of the
Hold on,
shoulders,
right.
the beat, all of that is iconic. And I also remember, because of the music videos, she would be asked to come on to perform on different shows.
Yep.
And I remember specifically being 9 years old and I would stay up late to watch Saturday Night Live. And I remember her being on that episode of Saturday Night Live and doing the what is his name?
Was
The
it the
one that
news?
has no, the guy, Ed Grimley.
Oh, Ed Grimley. Yes.
Her doing the Ed Grimley dance. She popped up in that sketch with Ed Grimley, and she was doing the Ed Grimley dance with him. And to me, that was so freaking iconic. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Tina Turner's that deal. And let's not forget that moments like the We Are the World video were super important, because we got to see all of our favorite rock stars all in the same room, both black and white.
Yeah.
Because we got to see Tina, we got to see the Pointer Sisters. We got to see Michael Jackson glaring at
Cyndi Lauper and Huey Lewis. He was over
it. and they're out of tune singing. So I think we're speaking from a place of privilege.
Yes.
Again, so we got to see this stuff in real time, kids. Like, so music videos back then, when shout out to MTV, were such an integral part of our growing up and the visualization of music at that time.
It's so interesting how times have changed, because we grow older, times change. But all the people that we named, we talk about Tina Turner, we're talking about the Pointer Sisters, Diana Ross was there. These are women who were older. So pop music, Dionne Warwick, pop, Gladys Knight was there. Pop, Stevie Wonder was there.
Jackson.
Right.
Latoya
Jackson. That was shade.
Listen, she was there.
She was there. Hot Potato was a jam. I would say that forevermore. But anyway, the point.
She's gonna need my loving. That's my song.
Yes. So the thing is, these women were allowed to be on the pop charts and be on the radio at the age that they were then. And we can't, who can do that now? We can't do that now. Where who can do that now?
No, you're absolutely right. We're at a we are definitely in the age of, if you are over 25, you are considered a dinosaur. And now, and to be fair, back then, Tina Turner was considered a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That record executive called her a
O-
old
old N
douchebag.
word. Yeah.
And so the fact that we got to witness this woman again, I didn't even have a concept of how old Tina Turner was, quite
Right.
frankly.
And now that we are this age, we're like, oh, wait, she was a pop
Oh,
star then?
she was a full pop star in her mid 40s, just like me and you, J Ray, right now. And
Yeah.
doing it up. Like I said, the energy, and one of my nicknames for Tina Turner has always been Energy Goddess. Like,
Mm.
there are a couple of artists to me that are complete balls of energy when they're on stage. Busta Rhymes is one, and Tina Turner is the other. Now that's a wide spectrum of of different type of artists, but there is a something that happens to them when they're on stage, and if you look close, it's like a whole new persona takes over,
Mm-hmm.
and that energy is it's like a ball of fire on stage, and we just getting to witness it.
Mm.
But back to her being a 40-plus-year-old Black woman
Yeah.
pop star, you're right. Like, you had people like Madonna,
Mm-hmm.
who allegedly would be very disrespectful to people like her, or Patti LaBelle, because they were older,
Mm-hmm.
and because they had, in her mind, maybe in her mind, she felt like they were they were washed up. But it just, if we give people the opportunity with talent, who can provide, who can actually have the goods
Yeah.
and give us a stage show, if we were interested in that kind of stuff these days. Because I don't know if we're even interested in that. I think we're interested in a look. I think we're interested in, what kind of viral moment someone can have. Those are the things that kind of pique people's interest. I don't know that people are like, no, people do enjoy a good show, but not to the magnitude. The only person that comes close to giving people, and she's in the age group now,
She's actually,
is
yes,
Beyonce.
Beyonce. And
Beyonce
actually
is in her mid 40s, kids. She's in her mid 40s
in
now.
her mid 40s. And it's so interesting watching how folks are navigating watching her be different on stage in this moment. We're having
Absolutely.
folks say, like, she's not dancing as much, her energy seems low. And it's like, baby, she's in her mid 40s. It's going to have to change, right?
Right.
So we are seeing what that looks like. And Tina, God bless her, Tina Turner performed on stages until she was almost 70 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Her last tour was in like 2009. Like, it was like 2009. And that is an incredible amount of work. And this woman, to her point, which we said earlier in this, where you talked about this, Sir Daniel, her ability to channel and call in the life she wanted. She wanted to be like the Stones. She wanted to be able to play stadiums until she couldn't play them no more. And that's exactly what she did.
It's so funny you bring up the Stones.
Mm-hmm.
Mick Jagger wanted to be Tina Turner. If we're gonna keep it a
We keep it a
buck,
buck. He did.
if you, I mean,
You
if
look at
you
that
look at the way
shimmying. Yup.
he would peacock on stage, that ain't nothing but Tina Turner. And she went on record and said that, lovingly, she said, I noticed him watching me off stage. And we've talked about this in a couple episodes ago regarding some of the people that y'all love to invite to the cookout. Some the cookout, a lot, you're giving them too many plates of our recipes.
Too much
You need to be
macaroni and cheese.
you need to be it's like, we gave away a lot of recipes, we packed up a lot of plates and let people go and get fat and
Mhm.
rich off of our plates of our recipes. But no, yeah, seeing her become a stadium draw, and the music, the catalog that she left behind,
Yeah.
is extensive. Shout out to this is DJ. Let me find his name really quick. Shout out to him because he shared with the whole DJ community, the Twitter community, specifically DJs, and shared with us DJ Mighty Moves is
Okay.
his name on Twitter. Shared with us a whole Tina Turner edit pack.
Nice.
And for those who don't know, if you are a DJ, an edit pack basically is just like a folder of music where a DJ who has the production equipment can make really great edits to bring in the music that doesn't necessarily have like the best intros or the longest intros to make different mixes come alive. And so he provided that mix so that he was like, hey, listen. And he's in his message was like, I believe it's a he. I'm sorry if I'm misgendering you. But they said, they said, please take this edit pack and play some Tina Turner this weekend.
Listen,
give light to some of that music. Go through that catalog.
Go.
I Can't Stand the Rain.
Oh my God.
Is a bop. Is a bop.
Tina's
funky
version
bop.
of that is a bop. So it has been a joy over the last 24 hours to just kind of dig into some stuff about Tina's catalog. So of course we already did a show on her debut album, which was a country album. So go on our YouTube and definitely check that out. That was with our homie Big Mike. We did that show last year. So Q Points ain't new to this. We true to this. We was talking about Tina Turner in 2022 and in 2021. So go and definitely check that out. But River Deep Mountain High, my God sends me. Phil Spector is another kind of horrible human being, but also one of the greatest producers ever. And what he did with Tina's energy, because that's really what it was channeling the energy of this woman for River Deep Mountain High. I will never get enough of. And I also today was getting my entire life because I revisited the Acid Queen record, which was her last record before her divorce. Baby, she has this. First of all, that side A is a whole thing. So it was produced. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards wrote like half the songs on side A, but she has this remake of Led Zeppelin's "Whole Lotta Love." Will make you seriously slap somebody. Like her "Whole Lotta Love" remake is a whole jam. So absolutely, please go and check out the Acid Queen album because it's a dope record and has some joints on there. But yeah, River Deep Mountain High and her remake of "Whole Lotta Love" have been giving me life all day today.
It's funny you brought up the Acid Queen. I had never seen the video from the movie Tommy. I had never seen it in its entirety, and I was like, wow. First of all, she's acting.
Yes.
I mean, really, and to act and sing at the same time, and to purvey a character and a message at the same time is no small feat.
Absolutely.
And so she deserved a lot of love for that. And the message behind that, because of course at that time, acid and heart drugs at that time were like the big thing, and people getting free through drugs and whatnot. Yeah. But getting hooked on that stuff. So that was the first time I had ever seen it, and it's very impactful. And she was in her good rock and roll growling. She definitely mastered that. So we've come to the part of the show where I have to get on a little soapbox.
We gonna do your thing, Sir Daniel. We thank y'all for hanging out with us. DJ Sir Daniel about to give it to you.
Just a little something. And Carlton just reminded me, we can't forget about Aunty Entity, which I think is from Mad Max and it's Beyond the Terror Dome, which I think is such an awesome nickname for her now.
Yeah.
Because Auntie because we love calling people women of a certain age. We love calling them Auntie, and Entity is that's another story. But I love that name, Auntie
Ooh.
Entity from Mad Max. Go ahead.
Real quick, while we're on that, our homies, which we're planning a couple summer things with, white people on the over at the White People Won't Save You
Mm-hmm.
podcast. They're likely going to be doing a watch of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome this weekend. So
Nice.
go follow them on Twitter. I'm definitely going to be hanging out whenever they do it. So make sure that you follow white_pod on Twitter. That's our homies over there. So yeah, try and join for the watch party for Mad Max this weekend. So I just wanted to point that out.
Absolutely. All right, so here we are. It hasn't been a full 24 hours since, the passing of this icon. And the first thing, I was very disappointed in the way that a lot of outlets handled it by immediately referring to Ike Turner in the name of her passing. Now, yes, I understand that she is linked to this man because of the work that they did together. I understand that. But the disrespect, and it's a disrespect that not just from the news outlets, because let's just face it, I'm surprised they haven't used Angela Bassett's picture instead of Tina Turner,
I'm
which
waiting
we
for
know
it.
that they're
Somebody going to fuck
which
it up.
which we know that they're bound to do at some point because they're not really that respectful of our icons, right? But we should be, as the Black community listener. When referring to Tina Turner and her legacy, it's unnecessary to bring up her abuse. Her abuse is something that she spent the majority of the later years of her life trying not to relive each and every single time. It's bad enough after doing the People magazine interview, then the book, then the movie, to try and get it out there so that everybody can have, hey, you wanted to know so bad. This is my perspective of what happened to me in my lifetime. Since you all had so many questions, here it is. That's it. Hopefully, this will be never brought up again. But also in the documentary, you can see that all that did was feed the beast even more. They wanted more. And even in her death now, I see comments on Instagram, people bringing up clips of Judge Joe Brown, of all people, who had a relationship with Ike Turner, so weird and so wild, and decrying her name. And here's the wildest thing that I saw. There's somebody accusing Tina Turner of anti-blackness because of the clips that came up where she declined the role in The Color Purple. Now, she plainly stated that she declined the role of, I believe, Suge Avery, if I'm not mistaken, in The Color Purple because it was too close and too fresh of a memory that she had lived, of a life that she had lived, the story that was told.
Yeah.
Now, some people are already upset. They're already upset because The Color Purple is being released, and they're calling that a man-bashing book. And so some people already have that energy around it. Now they're saying that Tina Turner is anti-black because she didn't want to be in that movie. Which is it? Is the movie anti-black and anti-man, or is she anti-black? And accusing Tina Turner of anti-blackness is the ultimate form of anti-blackness. I think J. Ray mentioned something in the beginning about religion and how religion and certain dogma, as far as Black people are concerned, Black people don't want you to live in a box when it comes to religion. They want you to live in a box when it comes to sexuality, all of those different things. And that is the highest form of anti-blackness you could ever perpetrate on another person, living or dead, is to try and control and keep them in a box. This woman experienced her life. None of us experienced it. She experienced it. And what do we want to do? We want to turn around and nitpick at things. But you know what? That's very indicative of the generation in which we live, of the social media generation. Every time without fail, when somebody that we love passes away, and we get online and we give our condolences and we make our posts talking about how much we love them, there's always somebody that wants to come along and challenge you on how much you really love this person. You don't play name a Tina Turner record. You don't really play no Tina Turner. You don't know. It's not even about how much music that person might have in their rotation of that person. You don't know what kind of effect Tina Turner had on their life. You know that Tina Turner could have possibly helped them escape from an abusive relationship. You just don't know. So there's a lot of judgment that goes on in our community that I really think has us by a chokehold and is just suffocating the life out of us everywhere that you turn. So I charge you, listener, everybody right now, J Ray, I charge you with this. I say that we all continue to just like put a middle finger up and continue to live life the way we want to, which is the biggest F you to everybody else that got something smart to say, and continue living life like a Tina Turner, unapologetically, to its fullest, calling into the world what you want to be and how you want it to be, and do it exactly the way that you want your life to be. So those are the things that we can learn from Tina Turner's journey, and those are the things that tools that you can use to create a life that is a percentage of what she lived. So keep keeping little comments to yourself. Or you know what? I'm gonna mute you. Friends, we have a wonderful thing called the mute and the block button. Whenever people get out of hand and start talking crazy like that, mute and block. Mute and block. It's just too much love out here for us to be concerned about what negative people have to say.
Yeah. Mic drop. I'm a co-sign what Kipper said. Well said. That's the end of the show. So what I'm going to do is tell people how they can stay connected to Q Points. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us as we spent this evening loving on Tina Turner and her legacy. So one of the things that you can do since y'all hung out with us is definitely share the show. Make sure that your friends who also love music like you do know about our show. Please subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. I promise you we are there. If you listen to us on Good Pods, you might not be familiar with Good Pods, but if you listen to us over there, what's dope about that is other people can see that you're listening to us, and then they can start listening to us too. But listen to us everywhere, subscribe, leave a review, let folks know. So do that. Please, if you are interested in supporting Q Points further, you can become a member by visiting our website at qpoints.com, clicking the subscribe button, and you can become a member. And you can also shop our store at store.qpoints.com. We have a super active newsletter. We have a whole magazine. It's called Q Points Magazine. So if you go to magazine.qpoints.com, you can join that as well. Yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for you, Sir Daniel. Thank you.
The feeling is mutual. I'm very grateful for our listeners.
Yes.
And friends, what do I say every episode? In this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J Ray, y'all.
Peace. And this has been Q Points, dropping the needle on Black music history. We will see you on the next go round.
Yes.